Alright, so for years now, we've kind of just accepted that the open worlds we play in are, filled with puppets. Characters that are just on a loop, who say the same thing and do the same thing every single time. But what if that's all about to change? Because it looks like Rockstar has been quietly building a bit of a revolution. An AI system that could be so advanced, it creates a world where every character is actually thinking for themselves. We might be looking at a game where almost nothing is scripted, and every single moment could be a new story. Look, let's be honest. Open-world games, as big and beautiful as they are, have always had this one major problem. The world itself just feels like a movie set. The cities are full of these digital extras, walking in circles, saying the same 2 lines of dialogue, and driving like they have absolutely no awareness. It's all predictable. You learn their patterns, you exploit their dumb AI, and after a while, that illusion of a living, breathing world just shatters. They're props, not people, This has been a limitation for decades, really. Because it takes a massive amount of processing power to simulate actual intelligence on that kind of scale. I mean, even in a game as detailed as GTA 5, the NPCs are basically just following invisible train tracks, only reacting to what's right in front of them, with no memory or real awareness. And that's the problem it seems like Rockstar is trying to solve. Not just by tweaking the old systems, but by tearing them down and building something completely new. So, this is where it gets really interesting. Rockstar has been filing a bunch of these, groundbreaking patents. And these documents, they're basically a blueprint for what could be the most advanced AI world we've ever seen. This isn't just about minor upgrades. It's a total shift in how a game world can even function. The whole idea here is a bunch of AI systems that are designed to give every NPC a kind of virtual brain, moving way past the simple scripted logic that has defined games for a generation. The biggest one that people are talking about is patent US, which is called System and Method for Virtual Navigation in a Gaming Environment. Now, this isn't just about making NPCs drive better, it's about giving them real situational awareness. They won't just be following a line on a map anymore. Instead, they'll make decisions in real time based on all this stuff. How bad the traffic is, the weather, what kind of road they're on, their car's limits, and even their own unique personality. This system is the foundation for everything else. And it could lead to a city that doesn't just look alive, but actually thinks alive. We're getting close to an experience where the world itself is an active participant, always changing and reacting to what you do in ways that are, fundamentally unpredictable. Alright, so the first and maybe biggest change coming with this new AI is the death of the forgetful NPC. You know how in past games you could cause absolute chaos, and then a minute later, the same people you just terrified walk by like nothing happened. Yeah, that era might be over. Rockstar's new systems seem to give NPCs distinct personalities and, most importantly, a memory that sticks around. So imagine an NPC with an aggressive personality gets cut off in traffic. Instead of just a generic honk, maybe they actually start a road rage incident. A more cautious driver, on the other hand, might see an accident and, slow down and try to give more space. This virtual brain idea goes beyond just driving, too. NPCs will supposedly remember what you do. If you're constantly causing trouble in one neighborhood, the people who live there might start to fear you or get hostile and call the cops as soon as they see you. But if you act normal, they might greet you or just treat you with respect. These characters will have their own daily routines, going to work, grabbing lunch, meeting up with friends, all that stuff, creating this social fabric that exists whether you're there or not. This isn't just about making NPCs smarter. It's about creating a world with actual consequences, where your reputation matters and your actions have a real impact on the digital lives around you. The city might finally feel like a real place, populated by individuals, not just a crowd of mindless clones. So, a smart world needs characters that actually move like they belong in it. One of the biggest things that breaks immersion is seeing the same canned, repetitive animations over and over. The same walking cycle, the same stumble animation, the same reaction played out thousands of times. Rockstar seems to be tackling this with a pretty revolutionary approach, which is detailed in patents like US. These systems introduce something called procedural animation. So, what does that actually mean? Well, instead of the game relying on a huge library of pre-made animations, it'll generate character movements in real time based on a ton of different factors. An NPC's animation for just walking down the street will change depending on if they're tired, injured, carrying something heavy, or walking up a hill. This tech allows for an almost infinite variety of natural, fluid movements that are perfectly adapted to the situation. For example, the patents describe how a character's body will realistically change its posture and gait while moving. This could even extend to smaller details, like how a character might shift their weight or use their shoulder to open a door if their hands are full. The result would be a world where every single movement, from a frantic sprint to a casual walk, feels unique and authentic, finally closing that gap between a digital character and a believable person. For years, police chases in GTA have been fun, but let's be honest, a pretty simple affair. Just outrun the blue dots on the map. That whole system looks like it's being completely dismantled. The new police AI in GTA 6 is designed to be tactical, coordinated, and honestly, probably terrifyingly smart. Cops won't just spawn behind you in an endless stream anymore. Instead, they'll respond based on how bad your crime was, using actual strategies. Leaks and patents suggest that they'll set up realistic roadblocks to cut you off, coordinate their units to flank you, and even bring in specialized teams like Noose in escalating waves. And crucially, the police won't magically know who you are. They'll have to rely on witness descriptions or evidence you left behind. This adds a whole new layer of strategy. If you can get away from a crime scene without being properly identified, you might actually get away clean. This system also affects all the traffic around you. Thanks to that new navigation system, every car on the road is making its own smart decisions. Traffic will flow realistically, with cars merging properly, avoiding crashes, and reacting to chaos in a believable way. A car crash won't just be a temporary obstacle, it could cause a huge, dynamic traffic jam that other NPCs will actively try to navigate around. This basically transforms the whole city into this unpredictable, living thing. Every car chase, every escape will be a unique situation, forcing you to actually think strategically, instead of just driving faster. To really get the magnitude of what Rockstar seems to be attempting here, we have to look back at their last masterpiece, Red Dead Redemption 2. I mean, that game set a new standard for AI and immersion that years later, a lot of open world games still can't match. We all remember the incredibly detailed NPC interactions, the way shopkeepers would remember you, how your honor level changed dialogue, and just the simple ability to greet or antagonize any person you met. Red Dead 2 gave us a world where NPCs had routines, animals behaved realistically, and everything just felt tangible and alive. Now, take that as the baseline. Everything we loved about the AI in Red Dead 2 is probably the foundation that GTA 6 is being built on. It looks like Rockstar is taking the complex social systems and NPC routines from the Wild West and scaling them up, to a modern, sprawling city. That greet or antagonize system is probably back in a more advanced form, with a wider range of interactions. The honor system is likely evolving into a more complex reputation system, where your actions shape everything. If Red Dead 2 was Rockstar showing us they could make a world that felt alive, GTA 6 is them